What is up, guys? Here with another video on this channel. More of a fun type video today. Gonna be going over pretty much the entire the weapons list for Splatoon 2. Just gonna be going over some of the stuff I would actually nerf, like weapons and subs and specials that I would nerf or give a buff to if I had the power to in like the next game patch, which April 30th is when we're gonna be getting like all the new gear and stuff. I'm assuming they're going to be releasing a new patch. We haven't got any word on that yet, but this is pretty much just what I would do if I was able to like control the patch or whatever. But none of this stuff is probably going to come true. But just is kind of more of a speculation and stuff. Stuff I would kind of do with all the weapons and certain stuff I would buff and nerf. So if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, if you guys want more like this, let me know by dropping a like and subscribing for more videos like this in the future. That'd be great. I'm just going to get right into it. Now here's pretty much I just went on the entire list just so we can look at pretty much most of this. As for like first nerfs, I would actually give the splatter shot a slight nerf. We're just gonna look at actually the hero splatter shot as well. Well, I guess technically they're both the same thing, but we're just gonna take a look at this, what it pretty much really had. Here's the Splatoon 2. The last one was at patch 2.0, which actually got a nerf again. I think it's still too solid of a weapon, and I think it's, even if it does get another nerf, I would actually give it a possible damage nerf again. Its base damage right now is it's 45. I'd give it like a 5-point damage nerf, just because it's one of those weapons where it's like a go-to weapon. You pretty much picked up this weapon and you're gonna succeed no matter what. So having 5 less damage wouldn't really be that bad. It wouldn't really do nothing to the weapon anyways. So that's what I at least would do with the splatter shot. 52 gal. If you're using a 52 gal, you need to reevaluate your entire weapon process, because the 52 gal, even with all the nerfs, or not even nerfs, even with like a shitload of buffs, this thing is still probably one of the worst weapons in the game. I know I'm gonna get hate for that, but come at me, bro. The next thing I actually would nerf would be the NZAP 85 and the NZAP 89. We do not have the NZAP 83 yet. I'm not quite sure if they're going to even release that in this game, but I actually would nerf these two weapons. Now these two weapons are probably one of the most another like the splatter shot, probably one of the two most prominent weapons in the game, most common weapons as well. They're pretty much good all around. I actually would give these two even more of a damage buff. I would actually take it down to 10 damage as well. Either that or I would give it something else. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a painting nerf so it doesn't paint as good, but overall I think ink armor right now, having ink armor on the NZAP 85 and the NZAP 89 is overall, there's two solid of weapons. Even if you were to give these things a nerf, they're still probably two of the best weapons in the game to pick up, at least painting wise, if they never got a painting nerf. Even if they get a damage nerf, again, like I said, they still be one of the best weapons in the game, or two of the best weapons in the game, just to pick up and go with. Pick up and go weapons, mainly that's what they are. But yeah, I'd either give a damage nerf down to 10 damage, or a painting nerf, so they don't paint as good. Next thing I actually would give a, what else here? We got rollers. I actually would give a nerf to the carbon roller. The carbon roller in this last patch, we actually got I think it was a damage. I think it was something with the damage buff. Splatoon 2. Yeah, we got this is the last patch right here, 2.30. Extended distance at which maximum damage is dealt when landing an attack at the extent of the horizontal ring is roughly 35%. So I actually would take this away. I think even with this, it makes it a little bit overpowered compared to a lot of the other rollers, and I think it outshines a lot more of the other rollers. I just take this away. Not really that much of a nerf. It's kind of just like an thing. So I wouldn't even really consider that a nerf, just because it outshines. There's really no other reason to use like out of the rollers, just because carbon roller is just so much better with that 35% damage hit radius. As for chargers, I would actually get a buff to or I actually made a whole entire video on this, which I'll link at the end of this, but I'll actually give a buff to the Eliter 4K and the Eliter 4K scope. I'd actually give them a 105 to 110% range, so that's what I would do at least for those. Goo Tuber, I would actually buff the Goo Tuber. I think there's a 4-second charge hold time. I'm not quite sure I'm not quite sure how long it lets you hold the charge. Doesn't really say, I don't think. Hold a charge except for a long time. I think it's up to 5 seconds. I would actually move it to actually 10 seconds. So you can pretty much camp with the charge for 10 seconds. Even with that, the Goo Tuber is still insanely bad. I don't see anybody using the Goo Tuber absolutely ever. You go into a ranked match, nobody uses the Goo Tuber. The only time you'll maybe see a Goo Tuber is maybe in Turf War, but even then, Goo Tuber is never really even prominent. Even with the buff they recently gave it, I think it was I think you only have to charge you only have to charge up to 63%, so you only have to charge a little bit over half to get full damage. Even with that buff, it's still a really bad weapon. So having a 10 seconds, be able to hold your charge for 10 seconds under ink, or travel with your charge, it still wouldn't really do much for the Goo Tuber, but that would be one buff I would give to the Goo Tuber as well. I would like to give a buff to the Bamboozler, but we don't have both Bamboozlers actually available yet. We're actually going to be getting the Bamboozler M14 MK2 here, hopefully in the near future, which actually has a very, very cool set. I think it has a burst bomb launcher, and I think it has, I forgot what its sub is, but I think it's suction bomb sub or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I'd probably like to wait till that one actually does come out if I would like to give that a buff or not, but not in this video at least. Sloshers, I think Sloshers are really, really balanced. I really don't see anything to get a nerf in the next patch, or I wouldn't really give anything else to those. Soda Slosh, that's kind of cool. Too bad I never had Splatoon 1. Splatlings, wouldn't really give anything to the Splatlings as well. The Zinc Mini Splatling is probably the best mini Splatling as well. That really got released like 2 weeks ago as well. Dualies. The Dualie Squelchers. Now, the Dualie Squelchers are probably one of the weapons. I think, even if this actually was reality, I think they actually really do with the next patch. They need to 100% give the Dualie Squelchers a nerf in this next patch. This is not like a fictional thing where I'm just choosing whatever. This needs to happen. The Dualie Squelchers, I think they gave it a buff. This last one, increased accuracy of standard shots. So you're just standing there and firing, having firing mode by roughly 20%, so they have an accuracy increase. They need to nerf these things seriously, give these a huge nerf, just because they're actually really overpowering, at least for the Dualies. They're overpowering the meta for those. There's really no reason to use like any other Dualies apart from Dualie Squelchers, just because these things are so damn good. What I would actually, if that were to give these a nerf, what I would like to see him to do would give him a, after dodge rolling for 1 and 2 times, I think each dodge roll would have a longer, like wait time, or a longer standstill time, to where you wouldn't be able to do anything. That's what I at least would give these. Either that, or I would give them a even less accuracy, just because I think they're still super overpowered. And it doesn't really help that they gave them an accuracy buff this last patch, which was something I would not even have done. Overpowered, in my opinion. Brellas, not really much I would give to the Brellas, honestly. Brella, they don't have that even added here. So, as for sub weapons, I would actually give a nerf to the auto bomb. The auto bomb, I think right now is able to follow you up to 5 seconds. I would reduce that down to 3 seconds, just because it seems like it absolutely follows you forever. I think it really does need to be nerfed. Even if they nerf it down to 3 seconds for follow time, I don't see the auto bomb even being that much less useful. It's still a great sub to have on most weapons. even if they nerfed it to 3 seconds. Or at least that's what I would do. This has a lot of Splatoon 1 subs as well. I'm just going over the Splatoon 2 ones. I would actually give a buff to the ink mine. Instead of having it do 35 damage per ink mine, I have it do 50 damage per ink mine, just so it gives the ink mine a little bit more viability. There's not really too many weapons in the game that actually do have ink mine, but if they do, then at least gives you a reason to get some good, gives some like decent chip damage to the point where you can at least kill your opponent maybe if they hit it like in one ink mine. What else? Toxic Mist I actually would give a buff to as well. Now right now it only gives you ink loss and a reduced mobility. I would actually, after the first 3 seconds, actually have it start doing increasingly more amounts of damage, but that's just me. But that would be great if they did actually add that. That would be actually really, really cool if it started doing damage. I'm not saying it's bad right now, but that would just be a cool added effect. I think that would really give it even more usefulness to the Toxic Mist. As for special weapons, this has some Splatoon 1 as well, but I'm not going to be going over those. Ink Armor still has to be probably one of the best specials in the game. Not too many weapons really get it, apart from the NZAP 85, the Splattershot Junior, and the Tri-Slosher, most prominent ones. I think the H3 Nozzler does get it as well. I would actually give Splashdown a buff to make it to the point where once you click this move, you're invincible. So many damn times, I'm not the only one that actually wants this buff for Splashdown. So many damn times you click the special and you end up dying right in midair. With this buff, I would actually give it Splashdown to the point where once you click this special, you're invincible in midair. You cannot get hit with any damage until the special is done. So no more dying in midair, no more dying halfway through the special. Once you hit this move, it's guaranteed to land. That's what I would at least do for special. So every weapon that has Splashdown as its special ability would be having a very, very considerable buff, which would be kind of cool. Apart from that, I don't think there's really much else. Let me know what you guys think of anything I went over in this video. Let me know what you guys would buff or nerf of what we currently have in the game as well. Any weapons, any abilities, subs, whatever. Let me know in the comment section down below. One more thing I would like to add, I actually would buff an ability. I would actually buff Cold-Blooded to the point where with Squid Beacons actually being able to let you see where your enemies are around your Squid Beacon, I actually would have it to the point where if you had any Cold-Blooded on your gear, even one sub, that you would not be able to actually be spotted by Squid Beacons, which would be kind of cool. A very, very cool buff for Cold-Blooded, just because Cold-Blooded really has like no use currently in the metagame. So that'd be kind of cool as well. Just a little bit of note there. Not quite sure if they actually ever do that or not, but like I said, if you guys enjoy this video, drop a like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys would nerf and buff, weapons, subs, special wise, whatever. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.